Good morning. Welcome to the Captain's Chat. My name's Joe Delagrave, and I am joined today with Mason Symons. He's a development athlete for USAWR, been in the league and USAWR for quite a long time, and is an Army veteran as well. So I'm super excited to talk to him today. First, just wanted to shout out to our group last night, so the guys that played in Rio and played that game, and Gumby coaching that game. Such a great conversation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought we had some great insight from the guys that were on the court playing during that game, and pretty neat to see. We had Coach Brad Dubberly down there last night as well. So it was a lot of fun. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite Mason in, and we can get together with our conversation here. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, doing real well. I just got to see you when we were talking in the green room for a little bit, and you got that. I said you got that Justin Bieber with a beard thing going on, that quarantine cut, man.
No cut.
Just letting it go, huh?
Yeah, straight Grizzly Adams right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's ever been this long. Maybe like my junior year in high school, but we had limitations on how long our hair could be. So it was probably
So what's up with the beard? Are you getting some tips from Captain Chuck Melton? Are you getting some beard product? Are you combing it? What are you doing?
I mean, no disrespect to Papa. Papa has like the greatest beard of all time. But I got to give a little shout out to Lee. I mean, Lee had a pretty nice beard. I mean, it's looking there, but definitely seen Papa brushing it a couple of times. And
it's true.
Try to pick up a little bit here and there.
It's true, for sure. Awesome. No, it looks good, dude. It looks good. Hey,
a little patchy.
Yeah. So, what's been going on? You down in Austin, Texas? Everything's been, everything's been a little crazy, and
our world's kind of in a crazy time right now.
Yeah, no one knows who this guy is. I don't even know if it's Mason talking right now.
I'm trying something new.
But what have you been doing? What have you been doing the last 3 months? Like, how you been responding to this whole thing in our world?
In a couple of different ways. A lot of self-reflection. I started out with that first. I mean, I kind of broke my leg towards the end of last year, so like I had a lot of time that I was using to catch up, and this kind of gave me that time to really self-assess where I was and what I'm trying to accomplish. And on top of that, I've been reading a lot of books, psychological books and things of that nature, some sports nutrition, and some writing. I don't know why, but I can kind of escape through my writing. On top of all that, training. I just did the June month, see how many miles you could get in the month of June. Wheeler smoked me, but what they don't know is I used about a 25-pound weight vest on every single mile recorded. So I kind of use that as like an edge to kind of help me in my training. So I appreciate that pushing me. Yeah.
Was that was with the Houston crew, and then like Wheeler joined up? Like pretty much, there's quite a few people all over the country that did, I guess. But
yeah.
So who did Wheeler end up winning that thing, or what?
It's not over yet. I'm gonna try to get in. Like
you got like four days left or something like that.
I'm gonna try to get in like 20 and 10. So we'll see what happens. After this, I'm gonna probably take a nap and get to work, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Wheeler's got his wife Stephanie out there pushing him hard. They're doing like marathons every day. It's a little insane. Hopefully
he'll be all right.
Yeah, he's good, dude. But I mean, you talked about reflecting on stuff, writing and reading books and getting the mindset right. But like as things start opening back up, hopefully, as we get into the fall and hopefully be able to get on with being able to play rugby, because we haven't been able to play for a long time. What have you learned about yourself during this time, as far as rugby, but maybe more specifically as a person? Like, what have you been reflecting on? What have you been learning?
Life has a really weird way of putting you in situations to humble you, and I think that's very important. I've definitely been humbled in a multitude of ways over the last couple months and a few more before that. But no matter how good you may think you are, you can always be better. And no matter who's watching, you can always encourage people to be better. Why are you cheesing?
I don't know.
But just continuing to just better yourself, and no matter how much you think progress you've made, don't be satisfied, and be completely humble the entire way, because kids, adults, everyone's watching.
Yeah. Have your goals changed? Have your goals changed, or has your perspective changed this year? I mean, your 2020 kind of started in 2019 when you broke your leg at a very inopportune time.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah. But like, even dating from that broken leg, what has your perspective changed, or your goals changed, or is there like a newfound purpose or passion? Like what's that look like for you?
I wouldn't say my goals have changed. I would say my thought process has changed. You know, when you're grinding and you're training, you want it, and then you have to take a second to step back or just take a different perspective and look at it from the general scheme of things. It's like you have to trust the process. You have to understand that, you know, it's not about no one person. It's about the team, and, you know, the coaching staff and the team captains and the team's there to, you know, as a unit, as a family, decide what's best for the team. And it was hard for me to, you know, understand that at first. But, you know, I like to think with age comes wisdom, and we all kind of, if figuring ourselves out, go down that right path.
Right on. Well, so kind of rewinding a little bit, and a lot of what you talk about, I think, you know, you've gotten from some of your background, and you're an Army veteran, and I know a lot of times you and I talk about that, and you're like, it was super short, and I wish it was longer. I wish I got to do more. Why did you enlist in the Army and want to be in the military in the first place?
A couple different reasons. My pappy, when I was young, up until about I was 12, he was the most humble man, the most loving man, and he was a World War II veteran. And, you know, at a young age, he used to just encourage us, and, you know, I always felt special, like I had a purpose. And from him to my grandpa Symons, he had 20 years Air Force. You know, my cousin, Army, infantry, he was hit with an IED overseas. He came back, and he's actually a game warden now. My cousin Russell, he's Navy. I mean, it was just something our family takes pride in, and that just sense of purpose, wanting to give back.
No, absolutely. So take us through a little bit of like your military experience and you know, up until your accident.
Well, I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where I graduated basic training. So it's in a humble manner. I got honors. I think it was probably because of combatives, but it was a great time. I loved the pressure, and it held me accountable for my actions, and just kind of, you have structure. And I think as the younger I was, I didn't have as much structure, so it was really, you know, like, okay, I gotta do this. Okay, cool, easy. You know, you knew what you had to do. You had to get it done.
Structure,
but yeah. And then I went to AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. I went for a 63 Hotel, which is a track vehicle mechanic. And shortly after that, maybe a couple months, you know, I wrecked my motorcycle, broke my neck. I was on my way to the armory for a drill, and lucky to be here. Collapsed both my lungs, and I was septic, and like, just, it was bad. So 3.5 weeks of a coma, you know, it was pretty rough. I don't remember too much, but
yeah. When that happened, you know, you break your neck, obviously you're figuring out life in a wheelchair. You're figuring out, hey, I went from being in the Army and wanting to do some things to serve our country. And first of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for enlisting. Thank you for what you've done. I know it's always, you give me that look like I didn't do anything. Well, you signed up, and thank you very much for doing that. So this happens, and like all of us, we go through this transformation. We go through this like mental hurdle of, we're in an able-bodied form. You're doing things that you want to do. You're planning life, and then boom, you break your neck. What was that for you, and how did wheelchair rugby fit in?
I wouldn't say that I reacted in the best of ways. I kind of made decisions. Aoki last night said he likes not to regret because, it's just bad on the thinking process. And, I'm with him with that. I don't like to regret, but I'd be naive to say I don't regret. You know what I mean? Like there's things that I wish I could go back. I wish I could have started out my rugby career more focused, like as I am now, opposed to then. It's almost as if it was time wasted, but at the same time, it's lessons learned. So you can't say time wasted, So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But I drank a lot, didn't make the best decisions, and eventually, and I think it was 2012, I went to the National Veteran Wheelchair Games were first held, and then like 2 months after that, I got invited to the 2012 London USA training camp for all military veterans.
I remember.
Yeah, I was a big boy. I got an award for big hitter, and I'm like, I can do this. It was that award. Got an opportunity to come out here and play in Austin, and got handed like a very small jersey and got told to make it fit, and lost a lot of weight, and now here we are.
Yeah. No. It's not like lost a lot of weight. Here we are. You're being extremely modest and humble, but like and you and I have gone through similar transformations as far as body weight goes, and it's not easy. Like it's not not a week process. It's not a month process. It's not even a year process. It's a lifestyle change. Yeah. And you go through the ups and downs, but what was your motivation for losing that weight? There's plenty of us in the league that have done it. Chuck Melton, Chris Hall lost a lot of weight. I'm probably missing a lot of people, but like it's not easy to do, and it takes a lot of self-discipline. What was your motivation for doing that? How did it change from like, I'm this guy that's drinking a lot, that makes decisions that maybe you probably regret, but then you're going like, man, what changed to go from that guy to I've got a purpose, I've got a passion, I've got discipline, now I want to lose the weight? Why?
This is kind of like a touchy answer, but just because it kind of a little emotional. Shortly after Gumby asked me to come out and play in Texas, to try to get better and whatnot, like a couple weeks after that, I was at home and I fell on the ground. I was stuck there for hours, and my brothers came home from school and they saw me on the ground, and we kind of all just started bursting out into tears. Really not too many words were said. Where they saw me at, I was kind of in the middle of the hallway. I had enough of it, and I was, feeling sorry for myself and just trying to get to the other room. I was planning on ending it all and just being done, and just seeing them break down into tears kind of made me realize that they look up to me. It doesn't matter if I'm walking or not walking. If I need them, they'll be there for me, and vice versa. So that was kind of my turning point in I want to say life, but that'd be a lie because I'm a hard learner. But that was kind of my turning point. People look up to me, and this may be something small, but it may be my purpose.
So that day when you were you're on the ground, you fell out of your chair, I'm assuming?
I was in the bed, and I, monkey arms, thought I could do something. I couldn't, and went to grab something and completely missed. And the phone was on the other side of the bed. So I kind of couldn't reach it. And it was like in the morning and everyone was gone. And I was there for like 7 hours just stuck on the ground. But the whole entire time I fought to like try to get up and I couldn't. So for like the next 3 months until I moved to Texas, I would get on the ground and they'd come home from school and, they'd help pick me up if I couldn't get up on my own after that. So it was just at that point in time, it's like, if you want it, you got to work for it. They were there just saying, I'll help you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, I need to make a change. That was that moment. And realizing that, hey, maybe these guys are looking up to me. Maybe I can help people. I think a lot of times and it's interesting to me. And I think like, it's cool that you say that. And thank you so much for sharing something that's touchy and that's personal. Because a lot of us, I think, in the disabled community and specifically the wheelchair rugby community, shy away from being that inspirational person. You know what I'm saying? Like well, I'm just trying to be an athlete, or I'm just trying to be a dude, or I'm just trying to get on with my life as independently as possible, or I'm not an inspiration. I want you to see me as an equal person in society, which is all true. But at the same time, I think it's a gift to have someone say, hey man, I'm inspired by you. And I'm not inspired because they see you out at the grocery store, or not inspired because they're like, wow, you're out in a wheelchair in society, you're an inspiration. Well, no, like that's dumb. But I think it's okay to let people be inspired because they see you lose a bunch of weight, or let people be inspired because they're like, wow, you've went from this place to this place. And that inspires me to inspire myself, type of thing. And so I think it's something that we need to be able to be okay with more in this community, where if people have inspiration because of what you've done, that's a beautiful thing. That's something that we shouldn't shy away from. That's something that we shouldn't be necessarily modest about. I think that is a helpful tool for society. What are your thoughts on that?
Be a little bit more specific on the question, because it's like, it's such an in-depth answer. You know what I mean?
So I'm keeping it open-ended for a reason. I want to hear your perspective. I got you. But I think here's the deal: like inspiration, and not cheap inspiration, not inspiration that you're getting in your wheelchair and you're going. It's like, no, you've been through something that is traumatic. You broke your neck. Now you're in this chair. You've been through mental stuff that you the deepest, darkest, like, I want to end it. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to lose 100 pounds or whatever it was. And then I want to pursue rugby at the highest level, or I want to pursue going to school, or I want to, and like, so that's inspiration to me. That's something that's motivational. That's something that's inspirational. And I don't think we should shy away from it. What are your thoughts on that? Should we shy away from it? Should we grab onto that? What does Mason want to do with that?
I think it's, whatever is best for the individual as well as a collective, people are perceiving you. Like for me, I'll use the example as a veteran. I'm an Army veteran. I signed up. I would have laid down my life if I had to. No questions asked. Did it get to that? No. Do I see myself as a hero? No. Do I see myself as a veteran? No. I haven't done anything nearly remotely close to what people have done. And to me, people haven't come back. So to me, I look to them as that it's inspiring. If they did come back and they were hurt, I know many disabled veterans, and all of them give it what they give it their all because it's what they're trying to do. So in that perspective, like, yes, that's motivating. And even from the civilian standpoint, such as yourself, like, I don't want to put a category between civilian and military, because we're all human, and you want to think we all want to be better, but so I guess I don't feel like I'm answering your question right, but
there's no right or wrong answers. No, I think,
I know it's open-ended, but
yeah. No, I think it's something that a lot of people in our community struggle with, where there is a lot of like comparison. Well, this guy's done this, or this guy's done this, or even on like the USAWR side or international rugby side, oh, he's an international player, so he must be more inspirational. And I think that's a bunch of BS. Like, I think that, like, just because I pursued a career on the national team, but then this other guy pursues a career and runs a business now as a quadriplegic, or
maybe this is a better answer. You know? If you can be the light in dark times, be the light to bring people to the light.
Yeah.
How's that?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, and
I'll make it really. It's either really long or really short. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's great, and I think that's authentic, and I guess using that analogy, some people want to hide their light because they're trying to be too modest. They're trying to, or they're scared about being an inspiration in a very authentic way. Again, not like an inspiration where there's Mallory Wegman and Chuck Aoki had wrote a piece on that on teamusa.org about being people thinking that they're inspiring by going to the grocery store. Like that's not inspiration.
Yeah, to me, that's not inspiring. But I mean, that's the first step in your goals and your journey. That's the first step is, you know what, I haven't gone grocery shopping. I need to start somewhere today. Well, then let that be your start. That's your inspiration for the day. You start somewhere.
Exactly. As former fat kids, like that's a big deal getting to the grocery store, bro. That's a big deal. Okay, so hey, we've been talking about some deep stuff, and we're going to talk about some deep stuff some more. But I've got a game for you, so I'm looking down at my iPad. This game is all about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mason's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I know. Go Pack, go.
Stairway to 7. Let's go. Hey, that's why Ben Roethlisberger probably picked that number, 7. He thinks maybe he get 3 Super Bowls during that time frame, right? 7, Stairway to 7. He comes down as the GOATest of all time. All right, good.
All right. I want you to name our last episode with Jeremy Hannaford, great guest, and Alex. I know, Alex. I know. Jonathan, go Pats. Everyone's got Alex puking over there. He's a big Eagles fan.
I'm surprised they're still Pats fans without Brady.
Yeah. Josh B, he's good. Yeah, come on.
I'll go for Eagles second just because that's a Pennsylvania team. So it's Steelers and Eagles. So
Jeremy couldn't name. He got a lot of heat from his boys. He couldn't name not maybe 8, 9, 10. Maybe 8, 9, 10 of his Seahawk team from the Super Bowl. But here's what we got. Man, I got the Eagles versus the Steelers rivalry going on this chat right now. You got Alex just screaming Eagle. Come on, go Birds.
Mason, you're reaching.
Can you name the 10? I've got an article, CBS Sports. This is the real deal.
All right.
CBS Sports. You don't know us that well. We're team players, not in. We'll see, Jonathan. We'll see. TB12 ain't there no more. TB12 ain't there no more. We'll see.
Who's it? Statham, number 4. What's his name? Something like that. Whatever.
So you're gonna name the top 10 players ever for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The top 10 players ever.
All right. Number 1, because of his passion and his Mighty Mouse spirit, Hines Ward as a wide receiver. He was one of the best blockers in the game. Terry Bradshaw as quarterback.
Terry's on there.
That could be debated after Ben Roethlisberger, depending on how he finishes his career.
Okay.
Joey Porter, one of the meanest linebackers in the game, and that's why I wear 55, just because he was one of my favorite players. Every play, he gave it everything he got. Ryan Shazier, who broke his neck, who I'm going to try to get to play wheelchair rugby because he's a walking quad. Haven't succeeded yet, but it's 5. Who else? Lynn Swan, Troy Polamalu.
Polamalu's on there. Polamalu.
Oh, yeah. Best safety ever. He was one of the first safeties to ever do anything he did. Besides Ed Reed, he's a beast. But I could keep going.
You're forgetting the QB.
No, Ben Roethlisberger, I said that.
Okay. You're forgetting the old QB. Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
What about the old RB?
Franco Harris. No, he was lying.
Franco Harris.
No, he was lying, right? Yeah.
Franco Harris.
Mean Joe Green.
You
can go Antonio Brown.
You're missing. You
can go Santonio Holmes because of the wide receiver.
The big boy.
Bettis?
Yeah. The
No, I
bus.
said Bettis.
Oh, okay.
Help me out here. I'm pretty sure I said Bettis. If I didn't, I apologize.
Okay.
That should have been like number 4.
Jack Lambert.
Oh, yeah. Linebacker.
Mel Blount.
Mel Blunt.
Okay, Blunt. You can tell I'm not a Steelers fan. Who else was on there? Jerome. We got that. Rod Woodson. You forgot Woody.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Rod Woodson.
Shame on me.
And then Iron Mike Webster.
Was he a safety?
No, he was a was he a guard? Yeah, an offensive lineman. He had the CTE stuff, right?
Yeah.
Ended up committing suicide. Terrible. But
Brett Kiesel. Is he Brett Kiesel?
Yeah. Swan, Stalwart, Greenwood, Hines Ward. Yeah, man, you did pretty good.
Not too bad. Not too bad
at all. Jeremy's up in the Northwest still studying the Seahawks roster because that boy got some heat on that. He got some heat on that. No, man.
Am I getting heat?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. All right.
Patriot fan over here is still like coming at it hot. Patriot fan. Josh Schmidt, he knows the bus. That's right.
There we go. Okay,
let's get back at it. Man. Where do we want to go with this? There's a lot to talk about, dude. So let's talk about culture for a second. I love talking about culture. It's something that's important to me. It's something that's important to USAWR. And you've been on some development teams that has been in and out of camp. You've been to plenty of tryouts. You've been around the team as much as anyone that hasn't been on the team, on the national team. What's your take on it? What do you see from a guy that is like in the farm system per se? Like, what's your take on the culture for USAWR?
It's definitely become more encouraging, and I think the more years guys get underneath their belt, the more they realize that they won't be there forever. And, it's important to wear the colors, red, white, and blue, and they're going to do what they can to prepare you for the next level. And whether that's given criticism, that at least you have something to look on. You have to look at that as a positive. People are, giving you that information. If they're not talking to you, be worried. If they're talking to you, kind of use that and, be a sponge. Don't be afraid to ask questions because guys will answer, whether it's what you want to hear or not what you want to hear. And that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But most importantly, trust the process and understand that it's not easy. This isn't, the 9th grade freshman jump to being a sophomore in 10th grade, making varsity. This is beyond that. And this is kind of, it's not just handed over. It's something that needs to be earned.
Yeah. Last night, a lot of us watched the gold medal game on an NBCSN last night and got to talk to those guys. And a takeaway from there, I think, with culture is, and we didn't talk about him enough, I don't think, but Jason Regier, right? So one of the best 0.5s ever for USAWR and in the world. Coaches Denmark now, and just a great guy. But if you see it and you go, okay, Jeff Butler, he's pretty much a rookie. Like, he started in 2015. He had played the game a long time, but like on the national team in 2015, 2016, boom, he's starting in the gold medal game, playing all the minutes. But if you go back and watch Rieger, so you watch Jason Regier the entire time. We always call him Rieger, so I always get his name wrong. But and you watch him, and he's engaged in the game. Mm-hmm. He's basically another coach in the sidelines there with Andy and Coach Sue and Coach Gumby, and he's engaged in the game the entire time. And he could be like on the end of the bench pouting, like, "Oh, I should be playing. This is my last Paralympics as a player, and Jeff should be playing. I should be playing." But like, the dude is literally going, "I'm going to fill a role. I'm going to coach. I'm going to talk to the guys when they come to the bench. I'm going to make sure that I'm talking to Coach and Coach Andy and Coach Sue." And I like watching him throughout the game is exactly what culture should be. It's exactly what a team player should be. Like, he's not pouting. He's not asking, why am I not playing? He's literally going, this is what my role is going to be, and I'm going to pour into these guys as much as I possibly can. Like, that's something that is inspiring in my book.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, I kind of struggled with that in the beginning of my career. I saw rugby and I wanted to play at the highest level, you know, and there were times like you get pulled out and you kind of, you know, you shake your head, but what you don't realize is your teammates see that. And when your teammates see you shaking your head, they automatically think that it's about you. And until you realize that it's not just about you, it's about the team, it's about the family, it's about, you know, the red, white, and blue. And I mean, I haven't made it there yet, but I say yet, but I haven't made it yet. But, you know, just wearing that's important. It's not just about one person, it's about everybody and whatever's best for the team. You know, you trust each other. And if there's a call that's made, you're going to trust it because you trust each other. So you got each other's back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kelly Melton had asked a question about your leg. Let me get it up here. So
of course.
you want to share this story? So last year, this went
down. Yeah. Last year, I was at the USA developmental camp, and I was asked if I wanted to stay the next week and train. I'll say the big boys. I'll train with the big boys, and like 2 minutes later, 2 minutes later, I go to transfer out of my rugby chair into my everyday chair, and I had a lower back spasm and kind of just.
But hold on, who did you want? Who did you want to have you spot you?
I can't throw him under the bus,
bro.
No. It's not even his fault.
It's my
fault. No, don't do it.
I will.
It was my fault. I should have asked somebody who had like a stable foundation. That's on me.
Hey, don't have 0.5s be your person that's going to pick you when you're trying to transfer. That's all I'm trying to say.
And when you weigh 200 pounds and they're like 110.
Yeah, he's got really strong biceps though. We won't talk to him. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
you were a trendsetter, Josh, for sure.
It's not a trend I wanted to follow.
Not at all. Not at all. What has your body transformation taught you through this entire time? Like you're and that's the thing too. It was the last transfer,
very last
of the last session of the entire weekend. And I mean, that's when, like, man, you got to be mentally tough, make the good decisions for who's going to help you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't need anybody to help me now. I've gotten it down to a science. I've had a lot of practice these last 3 months with the new chair, but
And that's when you're trying to be all tough about, you're like, hey bro, like I'm good. Like we'll get to the hospital tomorrow. You're all like AD-ing out. And I'm like,
like my eyes went back a couple of times. You saw me naked in the shower. You know, it was a good time.
It was a good time. We had me, James, and Brian there. Like, all right, you are going to the hospital. You're going to the hospital.
I just remember sitting in the shower. I'm like, I'm so cold. Leave me use the hot water.
10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. I'm like, 10 more minutes, and you're gonna AD out and stroke. No. So it was quite the ordeal.
Let's not do that again.
Let's not. But yeah, let's talk about body transformation. So you went from fat kid, right? Mm-hmm. And then you lost a lot of weight. And then as fat kids do, we kind of like look in the mirror and we're like, oh, well, I could get skinnier or I could get, and so like, we're always thinking we're too big.
I already know where you're going with this. I lost a lot of weight. I went really skinny, like a twig. And then I'm like, I'm too skinny. And like, honestly, I didn't think I'd ever have that thought, but like, I could just tell with my push, like I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't hydrated properly. So like 4 minutes of pushing around and I'm seeing stars. It's like, yeah, it's not healthy. So, a PBJ for lunch and tuna for dinner wasn't enough. So and that's facts. But, I kind of learned how to weight train and everything like that. I actually recently spoke to Adam about going back, getting my certifications with nutrition and personal training and stuff like that. but kind of put some weight on, some healthy weight. But the most important thing was the nutrition and the hydrating and learning how to properly do it and realizing that it's a mental game. Yeah. Pre-strength.
Yeah. Well, James has a unique, he wants, just put some pre-strength on, make sure you get plenty of sleep and rest, and you're going to be fast. That's a sneaky way of doing this. That pre-strength, right. It's just a nice way of saying you're fat, which is, pre-strength sounds a lot better, but no, like you got to be at some point you learn to be kind to yourself, right? At some point you learn to say, like, I'm eating to train, not training to eat.
Actually, you're the one that told me that a while ago. Instead of eating to train, train to eat. That was that kind of helped spark a little bit the conscious level of it, understanding.
I said eating to train, not train to eat. You don't want to train to eat.
You know what I mean.
I'm like, hey.
On your off day.
After a cheat day, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Did you? Like, if you went back to the guy that was laying in the hospital bed, your neck's broken, you just found out, Mason now to Mason then, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell yourself about the journey you're going to have? Would you give yourself any secrets?
Hold on.
Grow your beard. Grow your beard as soon as you can.
Shave it. Just keep. No. Man, there's so many things. All right, I'll break down into 3 categories. Okay. I would tell myself, start now. Meaning, whether that's trying to learn myself on a psychological level. After the accident, I wasn't the same person for a while, with being in a medical induced coma and everything being foggy for months after my accident. Months, almost, I want to say years, actually.
Yeah, it's still foggy for you sometimes.
But everybody knows that. No. But on that sense, get started right away. Rugby, be confident in the process. I mean, it's hard to say that, but you have to trust the process, because that's structure. And stop being a fat kid, or don't even start being a fat kid.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, and I think it's important for perspective too. Like, we don't give ourselves enough chances to stop and realize, wow, look at how far I've came from this point. And it doesn't need to be like,
I still don't. Never like, satisfied.
Satisfied. I think perspective is a very beautiful thing, and it's needed to get added motivation on your journey towards your goals. So
it's like you mentally tricking yourself.
Yeah, I guess whatever word you want to use, tricking yourself, inspiring yourself.
Manipulating myself.
Yeah.
I'm manipulating myself. Yeah. That's it.
Some people use different words, and LB says hi. We say hey to LB. What up?
LB.
What up, LB? But no, that perspective piece is so important, because as you're going, and you're like, I want to get more. I mean, you think about humans, like, we're always trying to be better than we were the day before. Like, that's usually what you do. You're like, oh, I want to get better. I need to get better at this. I need to look better. I need to work better. I need to get a better job. I need to get better. Like, we're always trying to get better, usually, right? You have some valleys, you have some dark times, whatever. But if you stop, like, perspective wise, look back at whatever point you want to, and doesn't, like, for us, we always look back at the accident day, because that's an easy thing to do. I think for people that were disabled at some point from a traumatic accident, you look at the accident date and you go, wow, look how far I've came. Some people don't do that enough. Like, I think it's important to go, wow, I was at a point where I couldn't put a sock on, but then I chose to put a sock on, and then I chose to put some pants on, and I chose to put like those little choices along the way. And you go, wow, like, I've been doing this for a long time, getting better. That's inspiring. That's motivating. And I mean, you're someone that's done that, and just allowing yourself the grace to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to look back. I'm going to see that I've came a long ways, because you have, and that's going to help me get even farther.
I look at it a little bit different, but I know I can understand what you're saying. I can respect what you're saying, and I can see how that can work for some people.
Well, let me ask this then. Give me some tips for an athlete that's just starting out in this sport. What would you say? What would you say for your tips? You're going to throw my perspective piece in the garbage. That's cool.
I'm not throwing it in the garbage. No,
what
athlete for rugby, or just like an adaptable athlete in general?
I would say let's keep it in the rugby community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work on those rugby shoulders right off the bat. If you can pass, it don't matter. Make sure you can push too. And if you can push, make sure you can pass. Make sure you communicate with your teammates. Make sure you watch game film. Put yourself in a situation where you can compete at a high level, whether that's going to pickup tournaments or going on at large teams. And there's so many things, but don't ever not believe in yourself. No matter what, you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one's going to.
Absolutely. I love that. I think Brindley's making her appearance in the show right now, crying. Yeah. She's that's our girl. That's our girl, Brindley. She's got to be part of the show at some point. She hasn't cried on the show, so that's the first one. Hey, as we wrap up here, how do you think our league can do better? How do you think our community can do better?
It's kind of funny. I want to start I want to start a nonprofit that actually kind of works on what I'm about to say. I feel like it's very important for such a small community as wheelchair users. And I say small, but we're getting bigger, obviously. With each day, people break their necks. But there's not enough support for one another. And we're not in it to be better than someone else at life. I mean, you may be in it to better yourself each day, which is great and respectable, and that's what you should do. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't help somebody else with whatever that may be, whether it's getting someone involved in adaptive athletics, or helping someone like someone's helping me right now with the school process and talking about that, and just educating people on things that work for you that may not even work for someone else, but just helping people.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean it's what it's all about, and
it's getting better though.
It's getting better. It's getting better. It's just, gosh, and I'll have some guests on that are from like 96 and later. And I think it's something that we don't do enough of learning from people that have come before us, and learning, and then the other people helping. It's just, we need to get better at helping. We need to get better at growing our community, at being together and going let's help each other get better as a community, because it's needed in the disabled world. We need voices.
And that can be infective, right? I say infective, but that could be transferred over to able body. They see people with less doing more than people with more. Yeah. And that can be carried on. It could be a whole movement, and there's people out there trying to do that. So
yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely, man. Hey, so favorite moment playing wheelchair rugby, whether it's club ball or whether it's when you're on development team, or whether it's whatever it would be. What's your favorite moment?
I don't know if you're gonna like this answer, but I'm gonna say my favorite moment hasn't happened yet. But when my rugby career is done, I want to be able to look back and say my favorite moment was when I broke my leg, because it really put me into gear. So kind of turning a negative into a positive, kind of just understanding that stuff happens, you have to bounce back, and you're mentally stronger because of it. So that'll be my answer.
All right, awesome. I can say no. You ready for some rapid fire?
No. I'll say no.
All right, here we go. Let's get to know Mason Symons. What is your favorite summer activity?
Favorite summer activity? Rugby. I mean, every answer is going to be rugby.
Oh, okay. You have a spot on your bucket list. What are you going to put on there? Rugby.
No. I don't even know. Let's say Ireland.
Oh, beautiful. Favorite post-game snack?
Ice cream. No, chocolate milk.
Yeah. No, you said it, man. Ice cream. You know it. Come on, LB. Stock the fridge. Stock that freezer.
Hey.
Let's go. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
You ready for this?
This is
All
a
right.
PG show. This is a PG
It's going to be real quick.
show.
It's going to be real quick, like 30-second explanation. I was like 15. My stepdad and I were at a carnival, and he's like, I'll bet you $10 you won't eat that goldfish, right? I'm like, done. You're not – okay, fine. I pop this thing in my mouth. I chew it. I throw up. He only gave me $5 because I didn't keep it down. Goldfish. Never again.
What? What? You went to a county fair and you ate a goldfish for $5?
And it was supposed to be 10, but because I threw up, he gave me 5. I'll never forget that.
I'm never gonna forget that. That's amazing.
There was gills, and I was smiling, and I had gills on my teeth. It was bad. Are you surprised?
No, I'm gonna ask one of my kids if they'll do it for $10.
Oh, no doubt. You could probably today inflation. You could probably get 5. That's the opposite, but you know what I mean.
Who's your favorite music artist?
Man, I like Chris Stapleton. Yeah, that deep, raspy voice. You got a pretty cool voice.
I've seen you do this plenty of times, but you finished the question. When I dance, I look
like a monkey.
I know, man. You're out there. I think a lot of us, when we're on the dance floor, we act like, man, we're as able-bodied as can be. We
try. Groove. You have to try.
We're shaking the hip. You got to try. You got to try. You got to try. You got to try, man. Who's a better QB, Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady?
I mean, Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
Ben Roethlisberger, he got a toughness about him that Brady doesn't have. Like he has like that, like he can get hit, bounce off of it. So that makes him versatile. So it gives him an argument, but Brady's just intellectually just on another level.
Kara, we got plenty of helper dogs out there in the community that we can patch things over with PETA. We'll be fine. Celebrity crush.
I don't want to say.
Come on. It's rapid fire.
I know, but we've had this conversation multiple times. And I think, no, I don't know. I can't think of anyone.
Oh, that's okay. I
want 5.
He wants the 5.
I want 5.
His celebrity crush is The Rock, Chad?
He's cute.
He ain't got none in the chamber. What do you?
I got too many.
What are you most afraid of? What are you most afraid of?
Being complacent.
What if you had a boat? What would you call it?
The Rock.
Yes, that's right. Jordan or LeBron?
Again, you gotta go with Jordan, but you gotta respect what LeBron's doing, trying to surpass that. So you gotta
Kobe or LeBron. Kobe or LeBron.
Kobe.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank
That's
you, Ruby.
My mom. My mom just sold me out.
I know. I put that back up there for the people to see. Hey,
I met her at the Austin airport. That's why she put that there. It was the greatest conversation for like 45 seconds of my life. It was great. But I hate cucumbers. I will snap. Like if you bring a cucumber on me, I'm pushing. Like you ever see those videos of cats? Yeah, that's a good
true.
One.
That's true.
That is true. I would
Boy, that is 100% true. You name it Yahtzee.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Cucumbers. You'd rather eat a goldfish than cucumbers?
I did eat a goldfish. I don't eat cucumbers. So yes. You answered your questions, yes.
Well, Mace, thanks so much for being on today. Thank you for sharing. Man, I feel like we all know Mason's answers. Come on, man. Yeah, she's giving you. Yep. No, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing your heart. Thanks for being on here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for tuning in. You have suggestions, comments, whatever. Shout us out and let us know. Go to USAWR.org for more information on the team, on tryouts, on camps, on everything related to USAWR. We'll talk to you guys all on Tuesday at 11. And thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Hey, it was fun, man. Honor. Thank you.